Hey guys, so it's been long overdue. I decided to do a part 2 to my bartending video, my bartending tips video, because it did get a lot of views. It is my most viewed video right now, and a lot of people have been commenting, asking me to do a part 2, to asking me questions and stuff like that. And also a lot of people even hit me up on Instagram asking me to do a part 2 and asking me questions. So here it is.
You can't treat me like you treat him. Yes, I am the creme de la creme. Yes, I am from 1 to 10.
I would say the most important tip when it comes to bartending is practicing your sanitary habits. So this is very important. It doesn't matter where you work. It doesn't matter if you work in a club, a lounge, a restaurant, a bar and grill, a mom and pop shop, whatever it is. I feel like practicing your sanitary habits is very important. At night, when you're closing up, you want to wash down all your bottles with hot water. You want to wash down all the surfaces, the bar surfaces, the shelves that the bottles sit on. Even if you haven't used certain bottles like all day, like let's say you got like a mirror and like a shelf behind you and you didn't use and like as backup bottles, and you didn't need not one backup bottle today, you didn't use nothing on that shelf back there. Of course you would think like, why would I even waste my time wiping that down or washing that down? Like, it's fine or whatever. But at the end of the day, especially when it's busy, alcohol and juice, liquid, whatever it is splashes. So you're pouring drinks or whatever the case is, or whatever you're doing, you're always gonna get splashback. Even if you don't see it, and even if you think that it's not there, it's always gonna be there. So you know, with splashes, you know it's gonna be sticky because everything has sugar in it behind the bar. So you always wanna just give it it don't have to be an intense wipe down, but at least just give it a little light wipe down with a hot rag or something like that, just to keep from attracting like bugs and stuff like that. Don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it. All right, now, yeah, so you always wanna make sure that you wipe down everything. What I used to do, when I used to bartend at an establishment, like at a restaurant, I used to fill up the blender with like really hot, scorching hot water, and I used to just pour it all over the bottles and all over, not the bar, but all over the shelves, the little racks, the silver racks that be like behind the bar. I used to pour hot water all over the shelves and the bottles, because that way all that sugar is gonna just drain right off, and it's gonna go right into the shelf, and it's gonna flow right into the drain, into the floor. So that's an easy way to do it if like your establishment doesn't mind the floor being wet and stuff like that at the end of the night. But behind most bars there's a drain anyway, so I would say that's the easiest way to do it. And then after you do that, you could just dry the bottles with like a dry towel, just to wipe it down, give it an extra wipe or whatever. And then the surface as well. Okay, also you want to make sure that you saran wrap your bottles. You want to make sure that the tops, that you take the pourers out of every single bottle every night or every other night, and you want to soak them in like hot water. So what we used to do is we used to take that same blender, fill it up with really, really hot water, put the pourers in there, or we used to take like a pan and put the pourers in there, and then we used to fill it up with hot water and let it sit overnight. So that way it's sitting in the hot water, all that hot water is taking off the stickiness and it's getting in the inside, everything like that, you know, and boom. And in terms of that, you could put the caps back on. If you don't have the caps, you just wrap your bottles with saran wrap, or you could stuff it and then cover it with saran wrap, so nothing goes in it like bugs or anything like that. Because yeah, flies, little fruit flies, gnats, and bugs love sugar, and that's exactly what alcohol is made of: sugar, yeast, stuff like that, you know. All right, one tip for you guys is like a personal tip: learn a new drink every day. I feel like if you learn a new drink every day, whether it's you're working in a restaurant, private events, or you just have your own little bartender business and you're trying to work it from the ground up, I feel like learning a new drink every day will help you get acquainted and help you to keep that knowledge that you need and to build internally, you know, when it comes to your bartending tactics or bartending self, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, all right, another tip is be prepared. So this is a very important tip because many people are not prepared when they go to work or when they show up to an event to bartend for people, and it doesn't look good. If you gotta ask the place, do they have a bottle opener or a wine key, whatever the case is, like, that's not professional. You gotta be on point. You gotta be pulling out your stuff out your bag, like, oh, let me open this bottle, boop, boop, boop. And they're like, oh, you brought your own, or oh, you brought one, or oh, do you need one? Oh no, I got my own. Like, have your own little setup. Like me, when I do private events, I have my own little jar and I have everything in it, like a wine key, a bottle opener, I have pourers in there. I have a lot. I have a lot of different things in there. And then I use it as my zip jar as well when I'm doing private events. I will also say, if you are doing private events, to bring your own rag as well, because a lot of places don't carry rags, depending on if you're bartending in like a hall or it's an outdoor event or whatever the case is, a park or something like that. Of course they're not gonna have rags, and I'm pretty sure the event planner is not worried about you having rags or anything like that, but just have like a dry rag, and like get some hot water from somewhere or whatever the case is, because things happen, you spill things, like I said, splash. You just want to make sure, especially if you're doing private events, that your presentation is lit and legit. So make sure you bring a little rag or whatever. Okay, I would say another tip is the speed rack. I would say pay attention to your speed rack. Make sure you create a speed rack. Have your own speed rack. Whether you're transitioning with different bartenders for a shift or whatever the case is, if you can switch up the speed rack, I would say do so. Make it to yours. Oh, for those of you who don't know what a speed rack is, it's basically like a rack that is accessible to you that has most of the most popular alcohols. So when you create your own speed rack, basically what it is going to be is you're gonna create a rack of alcohol that you use the most. So your opinion wise, what you think you use the most. So I would say have like one of every category. One vodka, one gin, one rum, like, you know, stuff like that. One whiskey, or just put like the most popular drinks like Hennessy. You might have a bottle of red wine there, or if it's not chilled, or like, you know, just different things. Just make sure it's really like neat and it's everything that is accessible to you. So you know your guests, or you know you work on Tuesdays and you have a lot of regulars or whatever the case is, you're gonna be able to, oh, I know what he wants. You're gonna be able to grab that bottle from that speed rack, boom, 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 and it's gonna be quicker for you, instead of looking around, turning around behind you and being like, where's the this, or where's the that, where's the Tanqueray, where's, you know, the Smirnoff, stuff like that. So you wanna make sure you always have a speed rack. Make sure it's accessible to you, and yeah. I would say know your popular cocktails. So that's the main thing that you want to do. You want to know like your most popular cocktails off the top of your head, depending on what industry you're working in, or who you work for, what you work for, what establishment you work for. You're always gonna have popular cocktails. So I would say, for instance, popular cocktails would be, let's say, like top 5. Of course, well drinks. Let's leave the beers out of it, because beers, that's obviously popular. But I would say number 1 is well drinks. Another one is Long Island's. Another one I would say on the lighter side, sweeter side, I would say is a sangria, a Mai Tai. Depending on if you're doing frozen drinks or not, a pina colada. a Tom Collins. Like drinks like those are like popular cocktails depending on where you're working, what state you're working in, and like I said, what establishment you work for. Those are, so you just want to know those off the top of your head, just in case, you know. Everybody is not going to order the same thing all the time, but you are going to have maybe like a top 10 most popular drinks that if you do work every day, people are always going to ask for it, or 3 out of 5 times or 2 out of 5 times somebody is going to ask for that drink. So just make sure you know it. Also, a personal tip I would say, especially if you're a bartending beginner, I would say download a bartending app. They have a bunch of different apps that you could download, and you could literally, like if somebody asks you, oh, can I have this or can I have that, you could literally, if you don't know what it is or you don't know what's in it, you don't know the recipes or whatever the case is, you never heard of it, you could literally like search it and it'll tell you like what alcohols, what juices, whatever, what it's garnished with is in it. And some apps will even tell you how much to put in your drink as well. So it'll tell you the measurements. So like literally when I first started bartending, I had an app like that. And literally like when nobody was there with me and I was there by myself, like I would literally pull up my app. Like if it wasn't in the establishment's recipe book, I would pull up my app and I would look at all the ingredients and I would be like, okay, do we have this? Okay, we got that, we got this, we got this. Yeah, I can make this for you. I would just have to figure out how to ring it up. But yeah, I could definitely make this for you because you always want to make your guests happy, because ding ding ding, it leads to more tips, bigger tips, you know, and that's what we want. So the next tip is make sure you're using the right glasses. So that's very important. You don't want to pour wine in like a beer glass. You don't want to pour champagne in a wine glass. So if you don't know your glasses and you don't know the differences of it, I would definitely say to just do a little bit of homework on the importance of wines. There's like sifters and like rocks glasses, shot glasses, like a bunch of different types of glasses. So I would say definitely do your research or ask around when it comes to glasses and what drinks belong in glasses. So also you want to always strive for bigger tips. So customer service, no matter where you work, customer service is always going to be very important. The sanitizing the bar properly, another thing. But when it comes to tips, I would definitely say customer service. I would say smile. I would say even if you're busy and you're running around and you don't really got time to sit here and entertain every guest, I would say at least a little smile will show a person that, yeah, I'm busy, but I'm taking the time out to smile, or I'm taking the time out to actually understand what you need from me. And you know, stuff like that is very important and it goes a long way. A lot of the times, like I'll just give extra money just because the person smiled, or just because the person's customer service was amazing, or just because when I said, hey, how you doing, can I get a this and a third, they said, I'm good, how are you, thanks for asking, or something like that, you know. Like of course with a lot of establishments we're trained to speak like that, but also a lot of people don't do that. And in other establishments, like we just don't care how you're feeling or what's going on with you today. So the fact that a lot of people ask and be like, how are you today, you know, you can really tell if it's programs in them, like, hey, how are you, what can I get for you, or if it's just like, you know, I'm doing well, thank you for asking, I really appreciate that, how are you today, you know what I mean. So it's just that interaction, so you really got to pay attention to stuff like that. So I'm big on that, and I usually tip regardless, because that's just who I am, because they are, you know, servicing me. And I know a lot of people, well, mostly people in that industry work off of tips, so I'm always gonna tip, but I will tip like a little extra over my above and beyond default tip if they do engage with me. So that's just a little tip. And that was my bartending tip part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Comment down below, subscribe to my channel, let me know if you guys want more videos like this. Let me know if you guys want some recipes, like let me know if y'all want me to get behind a counter in my house and like start making like drinks and shit like that, because I really like, I'm about it. I'm like really about this life. So let me know what y'all want me to do. Like, let me know what's going on, because I'm really trying to get y'all out there, y'all bartenders, y'all beginner bartenders. If you're a server and you're looking to bartend, and or you're looking to like flare and do all this, like let me know what's going on. Like I could definitely help you. Follow my Instagram. Yeah, let me know. I'm here to help. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help. All right, until I get overwhelmed, I'm here to help individually. So let me know what's up, y'all. All right, y'all, I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. Later.